Could a cup of coffee be the key to getting you into the zone on match day? Now, just imagine that every game that you stepped onto the pitch, you felt every sense heightened, your focus razor sharp, and your body moving as if it was on autopilot, completely in the zone. Now, science says that caffeine might just be the secret weapon to unlocking that performance state. But there's much more to it than just grabbing a cappuccino before match day. So make sure that you stick around to find out how caffeine works upon your brain and why it boosts performance, and how then that you can use it to get into that flow state to play your best game yet. But I have to say, it does come with a few warnings, and we'll also get into that as well. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Mark Bowden. I'm a mental performance coach to Premier League players, and I'm also the author of the best-selling book, Use Your Brain, Raise Your Game, The Professional Footballer's Guide to Peak Performance. Now, caffeine is much more than just a wake-up call. It is a performance enhancer, and here's why. When you drink coffee, the caffeine within it blocks adenosine, and this adenosine is a chemical within your brain that makes you feel tired. Now, at the same time, not only does it block this, it indirectly boosts dopamine activity, and this chemical doesn't just make you feel more awake, it sharpens your attention, improves your reaction time, and it increases your ability to stay focused for longer periods. Now, for footballers, this is going to mean quicker decision making, sharper awareness of your surroundings, and much more precise movements, which could then lead to more assists, more goals, more game-changing moments. Now, what we need to look into is there a sweet spot for caffeine that is there where you can maximize these effects without overdoing it? Now, science shows that caffeine benefits follow what we call an inverted U curve. This means that too little caffeine might not make any difference whatsoever, whilst too much can make you feel jittery and unfocused, and this is hardly going to be flow state material. Now, for most players, the ideal dose is going to be between 1 and 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. Well, this is what is thought to be the right thing anyway, and this is all going to be consumed around 30 to 60 minutes before kickoff time. Now, that's roughly 1 cup of coffee for an average adult-sized human. But there is a problem here, and that is that caffeine can affect everyone differently. So what you've got to be thinking about here is to test it during training and not in a match. Everyone's tolerance is going to be different, and the last thing that you want is to feel anxious or nauseous on game day. Now, let's look at that fatigue again. Fatigue is a flow state killer. As you get more tired, it's harder to maintain focus and make those smart decisions. It's also going to be difficult to stay in the rhythm of the game. Now, here's where this caffeine is going to shine. Research that was published in Brain and Cognition reveals that caffeine doesn't just boost energy, it also helps your brain to regulate how it uses this energy. It's like having a reserve tank for those final minutes of a match where everyone else is running on fumes. You can then be utilizing this. Now, the study also found that caffeine enhances efficiency in information processing. So this means that you can make quicker and better decisions during the match, again leading to those vital game-changing decisions. Now, timing also matters as much as the dosage of caffeine. Drinking caffeine far too in advance means that it might wear off before you need it. Then also on the other end, consuming it too late can lead to poor sleep, and this actually has its own issues with long-term performance. Now, for evening matches, be very cautious. Your flow state relies on mental clarity, and sleepless nights afterwards are not worth it. Now, as we're talking about this caffeine, have you used caffeine in your game before? Let me know in the comment section before your experience of utilizing it. Have you felt that extra boost? Have you felt jittery? Has it had no impact on you whatsoever? Drop a comment below, let me know. So anyway, let's continue. Dopamine plays a starring role in the flow state. It's the neurotransmitter that is responsible for feelings of motivation and reward. Now, caffeine, when it blocks adenosine, it creates the conditions for dopamine to thrive. Now, in simple terms, Caffeine sets the stage for you to feel good, stay motivated, and maintain a laser-like focus that is essential for being in the zone, for being in that flow state. Now, this effect is particularly useful in high pressurized situations, but equally it can help you to stay focused when that game gets quieter and when it would usually be harder to maintain focus. And now let's look at how it impacts upon your movements, not just your thoughts and your focus, but your movements on the pitch, because studies show that caffeine improves reaction times and your motor skills, and particularly in sports that require split-second decisions. And obviously, football fits perfectly into this category. So imagine you're intercepting a pass, or you're anticipating a through ball with just a fraction more speed and precision. Now, often that is going to be the difference between winning and losing. However, caffeine mainly affects what is known as your peripheral motor processes. Now, this means that it helps with the coordination of movements that you're already trained in. So do not expect that having a cup of coffee is going to turn you into Messi, but do expect to play closer to your very best of your top abilities more often. But before you go chugging coffee like it's water, let's talk about the side effects. Now, overconsumption can lead to anxiety, it can lead to racing heart, even having an upset stomach, all of which are obviously performance killers. And remember, coffee is not a substitute for good sleep, balanced diet, proper training, and all the other aspects of your game that you work on. It is potentially a tool, but it is not a magic fix. Now, if you do want to utilize caffeine and help it to work for you, here are steps that you should be looking at doing. Now, first of all, experiment during training. Find your optimal dose and the timing in practice sessions, not games. So utilize this. Secondly, is pair it with hydration. Now, caffeine is a mild diuretic, so make sure that you're drinking enough water when you're using caffeine. Now, 3, make sure you avoid caffeine later in the day. Now, if you've got an evening match, consider alternatives, things such as beetroot juice, which will help that blood flow without disrupting your sleep. Number 4, use caffeine selectively. So use it when you've got those high profile games or when you feel that you need that extra edge, because overuse can actually diminish its effectiveness. Now, can caffeine help you to get into the zone? The science says yes, when used wisely. It boosts focus, it sharpens reaction times, and it fights fatigue, all of which are crucial for reaching that flow state. But the real secret lies in balance. The right dose, the right timing, and understanding how it fits into your overall routine. Now, if you did find this video helpful, please be a great teammate and share it with them in your WhatsApp groups. And when you're ready, watch this video on the screen right now.